signed our names with no regrets, only wanted to be the best that we could be. And we wanted this and nothing more than to be true down to the core. We thought we'd live forever, but when the full moon is bright and the wind blows just right, I can hear your voice on the wind. 21 guns into the night till we meet again on the other side. 21 guns, this is goodbye till we meet again on the other side. Yeah, 21 guns.
Beautiful thing to see the family and friends come together and honor his life and his service to our country.
It's great to see you guys out here. This is awesome, really.
How are we doing out there? We wanted to say hello tonight. It is Patriots Inside the Wire at 8 p.m. here tonight. And tonight we have a wonderful guest with us, Jason Steiner. Jason, we will get into a little more on what you're doing here with us on Patriots Inside the Wire. Wonderful to have you on. And as always, our lovely co-host here, Brandy Pett. We have you tonight as well. We hope you're doing well also. And that you both, we just had Christmas, everybody. So, and that you all had a wonderful Christmas and got to spend time with those that you love. And, the holidays, New Year's coming up as well. So we wanted to check in, see how you're doing. But we also had a special guest. And I just kept back from Tennessee. You keep going and going and going. So, hey, what better timing? I got to talk to someone today that was talking my language. When we talk about music, music is medicinal. It's like a therapeutic language of love, really, and the heart and the heal. It just heals you from the soul. So as we were talking today, they were like, hey, Trace, instead of taking off until next year, do you think you want to jump on? Got a wonderful guest that like you to meet. I'm like, who is it? That really depends. Hey, it's all real. But you know what? It is Jason Steiner from HeroStock. So we want to welcome Jason Steiner. Hey, how are you doing out there? Good to see you, Michael. Jason, you are with HeroStock. HeroStock, we'll get the link up there, but it's herostock.org. Yep. Jason is the founder of HeroStock. And not only that, he is also a veteran. And with that, he has done some amazing things. And so from that, Jason, why don't you give us a little bit of a story on your mission and your purpose and how did you begin with HeroStock?
So HeroStock actually began just as a night to hang out. I was running another nonprofit at the time, one of the founding members of it. We needed a night away, just a night to hang out, no tables to run, no events to run, just hang out. And the original thought was doing an axe throwing contest. And the more I thought about it, the worse it got.
Come on.
Axes, alcohol, and veterans. Somebody's going to the emergency room. So
just the Marines.
Exactly. So I nixed that. I decided that probably wasn't a good plan. I was having a beer in the front yard with one of my neighbors. It's another Marine. And he said, "Hey, I got a band that wants to come in and play. Would you want to do something around that?" And I said, I love music. Sure. Let's throw some fire pits out. We'll have this guy come in and play for a couple hours, just hang out, roast dogs, make s'mores. 2 days later, he comes down and he goes, "I got another band that wants to come in and play." And I said, "Well, if we're going to do that, let's make an event out of it.
Yeah.
And invite more than just our group. Let's invite all veterans are invited to come out and join in this." And we had 45 days to put it together. It was originally called HeroStock. We had about 100 veterans that showed up, veterans and family members, a food truck, a cornhole tournament, probably about 75 different gifts that we gave away, raffled off for free.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was 100% free. Like everybody could come out, enjoy themselves, just have a night to hang out.
Nice.
And it's so needed too, because in the military we have the dining ins,
Yep.
or like where basically like it's almost like a military sleepover and party at the same time, basically in your squadron or unit.
Right.
For those of you guys that are maybe don't know what that means.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it was everybody just getting together, just hanging out. That's all it was supposed to be. And as we got started into it, I realized that there were nonprofits there that I didn't know. And I'd already been in the nonprofit world for 4 years. And I'm like, if I don't know them and they're in my backyard, how many more are out there that people don't know about? Our veterans and first responders. And so we gave them a 30-second elevator. I said, jump on stage, talk about who you are, what you do, and how to find you. And we actually had people join some of those nonprofits because of the event. After the event, it was never supposed to go past October 22nd, 2022. And we had such a huge outreach afterwards that they were like, "Dude, you got to do this again. Like, we need another one of these, and it needs to be a yearly event. I want you to do something." And I'm like, "Of course. I don't have anything else going on, running a business and kids." And so I grabbed a couple of the people that helped me put it together last year, or 22, and I said, "Do we want to do something with this?" And I had a bunch of them jump on board, and they're like, "Yeah, let's make this into something."
Nice.
So we got our nonprofit paperwork in May of this year. Our event was September 9th this year, and we ended up having about 1,000 people show up. We had 6 bands or singers, 4 of them veterans, 2 veteran supporting bands. We had 2 food trucks, a cornhole tournament. We had parachuters that came in with the American flag and the Gold Star family flag. And
Awesome.
Nice.
when we changed our name from HeroStock to HeroStock, we wanted to include, our first responders. And
Absolutely.
when we were having that meeting, somebody's like, "Let's include the first responders. They deal with the tragedy and the nastiness day in and day out for 25 years."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, let's also include the Gold Star families because they have given a loved one to, that protected our country."
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing.
yeah. And we decided that we were going to honor the heroes and not just the veterans. So that was our push with the HeroStock was it's not just about the veterans, but also including the first responders and Gold Star families into what we do.
Jason, so you're an official 501c3 now, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You just mentioned something, and the only reason I'm interrupting is I want everyone that's listening out there to understand something. When you say Gold Star, you know what that means. Brandy, I know you know, but I have to literally educate constantly, and I'm always one who wants to learn. So anyone that's listening out there, we'd like for you to know Gold Star families are those that have a service member that is serving active duty, those 2 words, active duty. While on active duty, if you lose your service member, the people that are left behind, for me, for instance, my son went by 2-step, Sergeant 2-step, served active duty. While on active duty, he was killed. So a service member that is killed while on active duty is a Gold Star family. And that is something that our DOD puts out is through the military. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone that was listening out there understands that while our veteran, our service member is not here, it means their family is left behind. And so, Jason, you just mentioned something. You want to include Gold Star families There are so many families that just contact me and say, "Where do we go? We
Right.
don't have anywhere to go. Are we invited to something?" And then it's like, well, wait, they're going to think that we're going to be sad. Or we're going to bite, or like, are we going to bring the room down? Are we
That's my
gonna,
job.
I'm like,
Right.
yeah. So that's beautiful to hear. That's like music to my ears. Get it? Like music to the heart, to the soul, my ears, to hear that you are including not only our veterans, their families, but you said first responders, and you also said those of our heroes.
Yep.
Too few sign up. You know that. I mean, the percentages right now are all-time low.
Yep.
Hey, what's up there, everybody? I want to say thank you to you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy, too. I just want you to know that it in my heart, I got to talk too little today, and between the music and just the feelings on, what I said, do no harm,
Yep.
let's take care of each other and let's all help each
Yeah.
other. And it looks like you've got HeroStock going, and I'll let you continue that. I want them to understand that this is now a venue that is set up for multiple areas, which is the veteran, the first responders, and Gold Star families.
And what I
So-
like is that I apologize for interrupting you. What I know that what Jason's done in the past is they've actually vetted like the organizations. They're even vendors. Like they have to be nonprofits, if I'm correct. And what I like is that these people are people that anyone that would be in need that would go to these events that would fit in the parameters could get that help. And I mean, I've seen it with you, Tracy, too. Like you don't always get the respect that you deserve at musical events. Like we went to one, and you had asked if they could recognize the fallen service members, and they basically said, when a veteran shows up, I'll do it. And I said, I'm the veteran, go do it. But they weren't giving her respect that she deserves. And so I think that it's great that you're giving Gold Star family members as well as first responders that extra platform, because too often we tend to segregate to the point where it's exclusive for most everybody. And that's not fair, because there's so many people that are in need right now. And there's all different types of ways that you can have post-traumatic stress. You can have that sense of loss. You could be lost after service. And for me, I struggle going to musical events because I have severe post-traumatic stress. Like even in England, like I really hurt my leg watching Lindemann, and it wasn't their fault. It was because, people were kind of like getting real close to me and like giving me like kind of shoving me and stuff and giving me a hard time because I was American. I was wearing a cowboy hat that lit up. And, I sutured enough Glasgow smiles in England. I was like, you know what? And we're going to run them out. But at the end of the day, like, having that safe place for people to go, especially when they feel lost. Like we've had events before where we've had veterans come out, they hadn't left their house in 12 years.
Yeah.
Like, and so you having this safe place for them to land, you having this oasis for them, it's more important than I think we realize.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't realize it when we started it. That's Jonathan with Bourbon Battle.
Yeah.
Great dude. We got to meet.
Love you, Jonathan.
I was so mad I missed it. I'm so sorry.
Go
Next year I'll
ahead,
be there.
Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you, Jonathan. Go ahead with HeroStock, though, Jason, and we were talking around it, but as she mentioned, it is an event. You have vendors, but you also have your lineup of the arrangement of what I call a concert. It's an event. It's like a festival.
Yep.
So give us the information and continue on with that information.
So after last year, we had great response again. We had a ton of people coming back to us going, man, that was amazing. You put on a great show. You did a great job with, including everybody into it. The vendors were saying, we had more people stop at our table than we've ever had at any other event. So it was very successful on multiple different fronts. We had Scotty Hastings came into play.
Yeah.
Barbara Sim came into play. Joe Allen Christie came in from Colorado to play. And Joe and Barbara were kind of a late ad. So they only got to do a couple songs, but Joe came off the stage and he goes, that's the biggest, group I've ever performed in front of,
Wow.
So it gave him a huge amount of courage to be able to get up and he's a 24-year Air Force veteran. So he gave 24 years of his life and is now trying to start his musical career at, 44, 45 years old. So it was cool to see that side of it. And originally, the second podcast that I did, the question was asked, will you ever do this outside of the state of Nebraska? And at that point, I was like, no, I'm not. No, there's no way. Like, there is so much planning that goes into these events. I'm like, no, there's absolutely no way. And within probably 5 months, we've been invited to like 15 different states to do it. And I'm like,
That's awesome.
maybe we do step
Amazing.
outside, and go to a different state and show them that these nonprofits can all come together. We can work together. We can guide people to where they need to be. If they don't like fishing, but we got motorcycles and they like motorcycles, here's a group over here that does motorcycles.
Yep.
And so the board and myself had talked a little bit, and we're like, let's expand it. Let's go outside of the state of Nebraska. So for 2024, June 29th is going to be our first event. We have Shannon Book coming in to headline. We've got JB Brown coming in from Virginia. We've got Derek Stoner coming in from Missouri. Barbara Sims coming in from Nashville.
Nice.
And so that's going to be our lineup from there. It's going to be a one-day event to kind of kick it off, get us moving again, get us back into that concert feel, the venue, the event. July 12, 13, we're putting on a event out in Harlan County Reservoir, which is in western Nebraska. It's going to be our lake party.
Nice.
So it's going to probably be a little less family friendly than the other ones, but
That's fair. You deserve a break.
yeah, it's going to be awesome. Like, it's going to be a party. Age is like 25 foot from the water. We've got
Nice.
a sandbar that goes out to the side of the stage to where they can pull boats up and hang out on VIP beach. And, it should be a good time.
This sounds great. Jason, go back to the date of the concert this year that is coming up in Missouri.
Yep.
That date again, was it June 29th?
June 29th. Yep.
June 29th, everyone that's listening out there. And remember, we do have the website, and everything is on the website of HeroStock.org for everyone that's paying attention out there. If you're just listening, it's HeroStock.org for that date, June 29th. And so, Jason, we've got a festival going. We've got a concert. We've got a venue that is set up, and it has nonprofits that are beneficial to our veterans,
Yep.
our first responders, our Gold Star families, which in turn also gives back to the community that's there. So not only are we helping those that are there and performing and, doing the work and putting in work into it, but you actually have vendors set up that aren't just a vendor. These
Right.
are people that are out there and need us to help them and buy from them, the products or maybe something that they're doing.
Yep.
And it's service oriented, and we'd love to support our veterans. We'd love to support our first responders. So what you mentioned as far as bringing people together, it's like a cobweb is what I call it. It's like, well, if we're all going to have a nonprofit, we got to all figure out getting that web.
Yep.
We all got to work together within this web.
Yep.
So I think it's genius. I have put on concerts quite a bit back in the day before my military I don't know what to call it.
Status transition?
Yeah, thanks. I'm not sure what you call it, but I think I'm transitioning every day still. So, and I probably always will, but that's okay. I'm doing great. And so that's why I perk up when I hear like coming together and supporting each other, and I hear about music. And so what you're saying is what I'm feeling. And
Right.
so, but that's not just me. This is multiples that, I stay in touch with on the Gold Star family side and the active duty side still, and veterans. And, we talked a little bit today. The program that I literally have been talking about is doing a concert again, one in Texas, one in Nashville. I grew up in Nashville, just got back. There's some great people there already doing a concert coming up near Mother's Day. I'll have to get you in touch with some people and have you back on the show.
Yeah.
Would love to do that and get more information about Nashville and, of course, Texas. We're here in Texas. So I was already pushing you. I was like, are you ready for Texas and Tennessee?
It's a legitimate question.
Yeah, easy. They're
Texas.
easy for me.
And Texas is a place we've been asked probably by 8 or 10 people to come down and do
Yeah.
it. So,
Well, it's the second most densely veteran populated state in the entire U.S., right?
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely on the list, that's for sure.
I can help you there more is what I mean. I actually, as far as Nashville and Texas, those are what I call easy. I saw your face. I said that to someone else in the record business 2 days ago, and they looked at me and they were like, easy. Like, well, you say that easily. And I'm like, well, I guess because like if you've done it in your area, like you're talking about, right?
Right.
You're in your area. You're like, I'm comfortable here. I know my people here.
Yep.
you got people out there who are in an area that are comfortable in theirs. So I think by coordinating that, what I call a cobweb together of those like-minded individuals that would like to see that happen, not only in this state and that state, I see a coordinated effort that could grow into the future. And
Sure.
that's why I'd like to talk to you on another episode. But this episode is for HeroStock. And for HeroStock, you now have 501c3, and I know what it takes to put on one of these events. These events are costly. Just the arranging of setting everything up, taking care of the people that are there, making sure they're fed food and water, and taking care of those that have been there for us. These are the people that we have the freedom to be here tonight. We are talking because our freedom of speech that we get and every right that we have is because of our service members who've been there and they've had our backs. So now what we're looking for when it comes to HeroStock, I know what it takes to put on a concert like that. That is, I was in my own bank account nonstop. I was just pulling money out nonstop. Hey, how's it going? It's dear mama. Yeah, Shannon. Dear mom. Yeah. I mean, the money, we don't have a money tree. If I did, I would gladly share it. But, anyone listening out there, I want you to understand, I hear this a lot. Well, how do we help? Like, how do we help a Gold Star family? How do we help a veteran then? And you know what? I just said this the other day to someone. I'm like, you can do that. And this was for Christmas. We were doing a program.
Mhm.
I was like, sponsor a Gold Star family through Gold Star Parents Retreat. As you give back to that nonprofit, you can be sponsoring a family to go to this retreat. Now that we're talking HeroStock, I'd like for everyone out there that's listening, hey, how do we help? How do we give back? You know what? This is how you help. And you can come to the event as well. This is the first. You're opening this up, if I'm correct,
Yep.
to the public.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. And for our veterans, first responders, Gold Star families, it is free to you. But anyone there in the public, you're welcome to attend this. This year, this is a open event. And your money goes towards helping every bit of the organized, like between the veterans, the first responders, the Gold Star families. So every dime, because a lot more is coming out of your pocket. I know that.
Yep.
So what we would like to see is some supporters and organizations that, oh, somebody's mic there. We'd like to see some of the people listening and not just a company. So if you're a company and you're listening, definitely this is how you support. This is how you help. Get involved. Go to HeroStock.org and donate. But as an individual, if you can give $5, $10, listen, as individuals, you can give back that way. Here is a way to help. And you can even attend. So I say go to HeroStock.org and put your money there to back our veterans, our first responders, our Gold Star families. You've got it all three there in one. It couldn't go to a better cause. Not only is it something that is to a great cause, it is an actual event that you can attend and see what is going on and how you're helping. So, and if you can't attend this event, which is HeroStock, June 29th, there's a couple of dates here. We still want to encourage you to please donate, open up, like I said, even if it's $5, it really does help. So in order to pull it off, yeah, right, Jason, to pull this off, I mean, my hat's off to you, almost literally, but not. I know what it takes. So I'm saying thank you to you because I want to be the one that's saying, hey, can you please go to HeroStock.org, and give what you can because we want to support those that are out there and they've supported us. So, yeah, Jason, I want everyone to hear that. And I wanted to make sure they heard it from me. I'm sure that you asked and you've had to be out there promoting. And, that's a lot too. It's like, hey, we're not someone that wants your money. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not a good place you want to be in, but yet we can't do this without having the money.
Yep.
So we got to find people out there who can, help us. If you really want to talk support, because I hear this a lot. Well, how can we help? Well, how do we support the veterans? Well, I've got it right here. HeroStock. Go to HeroStock.org. You can help all of this come together. You can witness it, you can attend it, or you can just see literally
Yep.
what happens there, and bringing everyone together through music. Music is medicinal, Jason. So, do you actually sing or play or write as well, Jason?
I've actually just started taking guitar lessons. My daughter sings; she does the anthem every year for the event. And this year, I think she's going to do a couple different songs after the anthem. She's trying to break into the singing world. So, but no, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. So,
Well, you can carry off the tunes that everyone else has in their buckets. So that's what you're
exactly.
doing. I
Yep.
did get to hear your daughter, by the way. She sounds beautiful. She has a
She,
beautiful voice.
yeah, she does a great job. She makes me cry every time. So,
Yeah. Yeah. She definitely touched my heart. But Jason, as far as HeroStock, this happened by hanging out, and it's ironic. It's the same thing that happened here in Texas. We were all kind of hanging out, wondering, well, what do we do? You know, we at that time, you know, my son was in Iraq. A lot of us were just we needed to be busy. Number one,
yep.
we wanted to get together, and it wasn't always about serving food somewhere or serving in the community, which yes, we would love to do that as well.
Sure.
But you know, how do we all get together as well and kind of unwind and come together and be there for each other? And it was always music. So
Yep.
you caught us literally like we have been working on something here in Texas and Nashville. And that's why you heard me say, well, good. Are you ready to go to Nashville and Texas? Because that's easy.
Yep. Let's do it. I'm always down. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, when it comes to music, and pulling off Texas and Nashville, that's in my lane just from the old days of working with the Metropolitan, different people. The Chronicle's really big here,
sure.
and doing reviews on different bands. So, like I said, the music is healing for souls. It's medicinal to a point for me.
Yep.
And what you're doing by bringing everyone together, not only them as a concert that they're going to be able to hear with multiple artists lined up, veteran artists that are playing, and the female, y'all, did y'all hear that? I want y'all to make sure you heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's playing.
Barbie's
So
awesome.
yeah, we want to give her a shout out there. So yes, with HeroStock.org, the founder Jason Steiner, you know, I started looking into it, and I was getting a lot of information before I got your call, and I was like, you know, hey Jason, I'm not PC, I'm old school, I'm. I
I'm
was like,
amazed.
I'm
Oh,
on break, but for
So
you,
are we.
yeah, I like, you know what, for you, yeah, for sure. This is a great organization. This is something that I've seen what it does to people to be together in this setting. And so I know we love to laugh, and we, you know, we all kind of, that's our way of getting around things sometimes. It is for me. I'll speak for myself. But I want to be serious and say, hey, listen up out there. You're listening to Patriots Inside the Wire. My name is Tracy. I may be a Gold Star mom, but there's a lot more to me. And part of that is a love that I shared with my son who isn't here, and that is music. And he had got his name Two Step for many reasons. But I was like, man, you got to meet some nice girls, man. Like, you're going to be at some military stations. You never know. So, trust me, we found out.
Two forms of ID at all times.
Oh, that's a whole nother show. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it is.
Right.
You have no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jason, what was your? I'm sorry to cut you off, Tracy. I had a question for Jason.
Yeah.
So, what would you like? What's the feedback that you've been getting from veterans that have been attending these events? Because I know that a lot of them have post-traumatic stress and they don't usually go out very often. Is that right?
Right. You know, one of the stories from last year or this year's event, it comes from a buddy of mine. He was Army EOD 15 years, severe PTSD, severe anxiety, does not do groups, does not do loud areas. Like he's very, very much a homebody. He goes, man, I'm going to come out, and I'm going to come out early, but I'm probably going to leave early. I just want you to know that. It has nothing to do with you, with what's going on. I want you to understand that I can't stay. And I'm like, Troy, I want you there. Be there as long as you feel comfortable. You know, don't push yourself past that line. He showed up and stayed about 5.5 hours.
Wow.
And he sent me a text the next day and he goes, I have never felt more safe in a building full of warriors than I did at your event.
Nice. That
And
is
I was like,
beautiful.
that's my win, right? I mean,
That's it.
I want one win every event. And if I
Yeah.
can get one win every event, he was my win last year. And
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, and that's a beautiful,
it was
beautiful
awesome.
story.
Like he sat there and he enjoyed the music. He talked to people. He went outside of his comfort zone because he was so comfortable there.
Nice.
So it was awesome to see that. He's already asking about this year's event. When's it? Where is it? When is it? You know, what days are you playing? What kind of bands? And he's all jazzed up about it. So
Right.
it's awesome to see that side of it when you know the stories behind it. You know, some of the time we don't understand the stories behind it because we don't know them personally.
Right.
With
Absolutely.
him, he's a personal friend. I've known him for a couple years. We talk a lot about the military and with him being EOD, what he saw, you know, having his buddy literally standing next to him get blown up. So to know that and know that he felt that comfortable that he could stay for 5.5 hours, that was my huge win last year.
That's a beautiful story. One of this, you're sharing a story that my own son had told me about. You know, losing his buddy overseas, the same thing. I noticed the change. I noticed the difference on R&R, and I myself, admittedly, the first event that I went to has been within the last year and a half or two. I didn't go anywhere. I helped people and did everything I could, but I didn't leave my home for quite some time. I was not comfortable, and so I understand what that's like. There's Jonathan. Hey, but yes, I get it. I understand that. So anyone that's listening right now, I want you to know, you know, it's a safe environment. It is an environment where you're going to be around people who care, people who have been there, people who understand. Uh, you're just not feeling something's all good. Listen, there's volunteers. There's a need for volunteers, right, Jason?
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, you have a need. Not only do we need to help as a monetary donation, what we need as well are volunteers.
Yep.
So, if you'd like to volunteer and sign up for HeroStock with Jason Steiner, do you have a sign up sheet, Jason, or just go to your website? What would you like them to do?
They can go to that info at HeroStock and send us an email. We're actually trying to figure out right now an event or a volunteer coordinator. And then once we get that done and have one person in charge of that, then we can start divvying out different, because we're changing it this year. We're actually making it way more family friendly. We're doing a bounce house. We're doing a dunk tank, possibly tug of war, inter-service tug of war, even though it's not fair because the Marines are going to win. We're doing the inter-service tug of war.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
We're doing, we're doing a lot of pony rides. We're doing just a lot of stuff where we can get that involved, because that's where the healing starts, is with the family. And you get to see that significant other that can't talk to you about certain things.
Jonathan.
And they can't open up about certain things, but they grab another service member that they may not even know, and you can have those conversations.
Correct.
And same with first responders and that kind of thing. So we want to include that family piece into, except for maybe Harlan, we want to include that family piece into it to really get that bonding going and get that healing going at home too. So
definitely. So Jason, we're talking about HeroStock. You can go to HeroStock.org, or as you mentioned, you can also send an email, info at HeroStock. But you're looking for a volunteer coordinator. I heard that too. So anyone that's paying attention and listening out there right now, and also what I'll do, Jason, is I'll get with you on the back channels. I have a couple of pointers in those areas as well. As far as, again, before military days of opening an organization, there were previous putting on actual concerts, very large venues, the bounce houses, the painting on your face for the kids and the animals, and all of that is goes along with it. Been there. So yeah, I'll definitely get with you on the back channels on some of that and give you some tips. But there are a couple of things I'm already thinking about in my head where you can actually have the nonprofits and the area that you're in. I know the area of who can actually do it for you. So there's a lot of ways to pull that together without actually even having someone tied to just HeroStock. So they're invested into it, like fulfilling every need that you're going to have, which is volunteer. Who's going to coordinate this? Where do we go? And so they are going to have a vested interest as well, so that you can get what you need. Yeah, definitely.
And
Definitely.
that was one of the things we figured out last year is the board can't run everything.
Right.
You know, I literally put on 14 miles last year just in this event, and we had 20,000 square foot, and I put on 14 miles.
Yeah.
So I know that there's no way that our board can handle, you know, we're looking at 180 acres for the one here. And there's no way that 5 of us can handle all of that. So we've decided we have to have volunteers for each spot. And, you know, because we're going to do the silent auction and we're going to do the stuff for the kids. And, you know, there's just so many pieces that we're going to add into it this year that we literally cannot do that. We have to focus on other things. So.
Correct. So yeah, on the back channels, I'll get with you on that. I mean, just a little bit, we'll be talking about some schools. There's a few different things to think about here. So I'll get with you on that in the area you're in, as far as where it's going to be held as well. And so as far as active duty, veteran, Gold Star family, or just completely outside of the military organization world, a couple of things that I had learned back then, when they paid me to do stuff like this.
Right.
And it's a passion too. So, you know, I love doing this. And it's therapeutic for me too. So with all the joking around, it's still therapeutic. Just talking to you and hearing your heart and those miles that you put on. There is a lot. You can't do it all on your own, and not pull off what you're trying to pull off. Something that's great of a cause and a need out there in the communities. I can see a lot of things coming together, and HeroStock's going to end up being a national venue. I'll have you in Vegas before you know it.
Sweet. I love Vegas. Sin City.
You just said you're going to send a Marine to Vegas. It's like sending like a kid to Disneyland. Are you serious?
I was going to put him to work.
Yeah, he would still be happy because there's boobs. Like, I'm serious. Just kidding. No,
I was thinking about work, but you know, music. I was thinking music.
I'm good with that too.
I was thinking Marines.
All right. Well, I'm still stuck on the music side, but we don't just have music. We're also talking about the other vendors that will be set up there. So you're talking about what I call a festival. So, you know, here in Texas, we have a lot of festivals for the live music capital here. So to me, it reminds me of a smaller festival that you're putting on, like we would do out here. So yeah, we'd be more than happy to help. I do know, again, you know, for everyone that's listening on Patriots Inside the Wire, we thank you for joining us. And I said this last time, I was like, there's only been 2 times ever that I've said, you know, let's donate and give back to a certain organization. And, you know, Gold Star Family, the retreat is the one close to my heart. And I went to it and I saw what it did for people. So HeroStock is something that you can go to and you can see what it's doing for people, and it includes everyone. So I'm going to say it to everyone out there again. So I'm going to ask you to also include HeroStock as someone that you have, that you're thinking, you know, I'd like to give back. How can I help? What can I do? I can't attend. I can't serve or volunteer. Reach in, give that $5 instead of going to Starbucks or whatever it may be. Trust me, every little bit helps. It takes a lot to pull this off, and we want to make sure that we continue HeroStock and that we get this family-friendly oriented event June 29th. And then, of course, as Jason mentioned, there is another one, maybe not so family-friendly, out near the water.
Yep.
So we got a whole nother one lining up. And, you know, by the way, Jason, I have several record labels, artists, you name it, from we won't get in my past. We'll get on back channels, but already saying to me, they need anybody to play. Do they still need someone to play? So you let me know, Jason, that answer.
Right. Right. Well, and we're
All
still
right.
filming a couple of them. So
Okay.
I fly down to Nashville to meet with Scotty Hastings and Shannon Book. We're going to hang out there for 4 days.
Nice.
So we're actually looking at a venue down in Nashville for August 9, 10.
Okay.
Kind of the dates that we're looking at down there. So we're starting that transition down to Nashville this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it all depends on the funds, and it's, I
Right.
hate even talking about the money side of it, but it does. It takes a lot of money to put one of these on. Just the bands, to pay the bands to come in, your sound and lights and that kind of stuff, without figuring the cost of a venue and the porta-johns and everything else that goes along with it. It costs a lot of money to run one of these shows and have one of these events to bring everybody together. So we're working on sponsorship right now, and we're sending out letters and that kind of thing. We're doing some grants. We had a lady that jumped on with us. She's doing grants for free for us.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, she's been amazing. Julie's just been awesome.
Shout out to Julie.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
She's been amazing, and I want to keep her year round, but she owns her own trucking business, so I don't think I'm going to have her year round. But I'll take her whenever I could get her. So we're looking at multiple avenues. We just added corporate sponsors this year that will be honored at all the events that we do. That kind of thing too. So if there's a bigger company that's looking to give to a veteran or first responder or Gold Star or all three organizations, we would definitely be open for a sponsorship from one of the bigger companies.
Well, you said it right there, all three. So if you combine all three of those, and then the fourth one to me is Patriots, and that's part of the reason that I have Patriots Inside the Wire. As military, y'all would understand Inside the Wire. And now patriots that are out there that are listening, supporting, you want to make sure you take care of everything going on. Those that have been there, who serve or have served, who are either here or those that we want to never forget, and we want to take care of their families. This is a way to do that. So you have multiple avenues. So you don't just have the three, you also have patriots, because by the time you have your volunteers, by the time you have the people that are setting up, that are taking care of everyone, you now have the market. You've got all four legs to that table. You've got your patriots, you've got your veterans, first responders, and your Gold Star families, and the families that come with that. So in order to do this, I'll ask. So as Tracy, I'm asking you if you can just reach in for HeroStock, take care of this event. This event is a music festival that is not just music, but it is a big part of it. But it will be other nonprofits and profits set up as vendors with various types of things that you can go and be able to give back to them as well. Enjoy the day with your family and spend it there where if you can attend this, it is open to the public for the first time. It was not, right, Jason? At first, it was a military veteran invite, correct?
Yep. And last year it was actually veteran, first responder, and Gold Star only. We didn't technically open it up to the public. This year we're opening it up to the public to bring them in. Couple reasons behind that. We want to let them in to see all of our nation's heroes, to honor them, to give back to them. Second piece of that is we want them to see these amazing nonprofits and know that it takes money to run every one of these nonprofits to help our heroes. And then the third piece of it is to see our veteran and first responder singers and go, man, these guys are amazing, or this gal's amazing. I'm going to start following their music. And we start growing their audience, by bringing in these veteran and first responder singers.
Yes. Well, I mean, like I said, you've hit all four on there. And so we would love it, everyone that's listening out there. Not only can you attend, and you can witness this for yourself. And those that are listening, you are a veteran, you are a Gold Star family member, you are a first responder. Come out, try it, see if you like it. I'm sure there'll be someone on standby with all the first responders. Jason, do
Yep.
you normally have? I would imagine that you have a EMT or a tent that'll be set up. Everything will be thought about that is supposed to be at every venue of a concert.
Yep.
I spent some time talking with Jason here, and it is a event that is one that, as I get asked all the time, well, then what do we do? Like, how do we support? Or we feel funny. Like, how do we approach even talking to a Gold Star family? How do we approach, trying to figure out how to help a veteran?
Right.
Well, here's a way right here. Go to HeroStock.org and make sure that there's this day of a festival that is a beautiful day of music, camaraderie, supporting each other. And the vendors that were there are going to be, giving back to the community as well. So it's a win-win to put together, but it is a lot to do. So, Jason, as you're about to venture to Nashville, and I heard a couple of names there, Scotty was just on. So I always tell them that, how do you choose? So I'm saying to everybody out there, they're probably thinking, how do you choose? How do you choose which nonprofit to, Scotty and I talked about this. That song kind of fits a lot of areas. For me, I see it how he saw it because of how do you choose a headstone. I understand where he's coming from there. But I'm saying right now, like, how do you choose? You're being asked by multiple people, maybe like you're going to donate here or donate there. I'm going to tell you that if I'm speaking about it, just like if I'm comparing this to anyone that's listening right now, like Gold Star Parents Retreat, and the reason you keep hearing that from me is I know a lot of our listeners right now are those people in the Gold Star family oriented world or Blue Star family, still active duty, and veterans, but heavily more on the other side. So I want them to know that this is a event that you are included. This is a event that you can attend. This is something that you can go and be around and have back what you lost as far as your unit, your home. And so you go to HeroStock.org for anyone that's listening. And I'd love to see our sponsors. We've got a couple of guitar companies here in Texas and some other things that, depending on your package, a bronze, silver, gold package. If you'd like to support your Gold Star family, do the gold package. Support large, give back all in one to HeroStock. HeroStock.org, Jason.
And we truly appreciate your time today, Jason. Thank you for coming on so
Yeah.
late. And Tracy, I appreciate it as well. I know you were supposed to be on with me last week, but unfortunately I did miss that. So we absolutely appreciate your time and versatility and coming on tonight and sharing with us.
Definitely. I appreciate you guys having me on. So
Most definitely, Jason. I know you're traveling soon. Safe travels. Nashville, you'll have to get with me on the back channels there. That, like I said, that's an easy one. There is someone there. If you're actually looking at doing that in next year, there is someone there that's doing it. And so right before Mother's Day, there's a really big one that I'll be out there for again. So I'll have to get with you about someone that's out there and see if you know him. And then there's a female as well. So rather than doing all the work and recreating the will, let's get you introduced to whoever I'm talking to so that we can maybe all work together.
Connect some dots.
There you go.
Right.
It's all about being that hub, right?
And
That's what HeroStock is. HeroStock's the hub, and we're trying to bring everybody together to plug into that hub. So,
well, you know what? I have been looking for a veteran-oriented hub. A lot of the Gold Star families, we had this talk. So, Jason, what you're doing with HeroStock, and as far as veterans that reach out and still include the Gold Star families, not coming from just me. We want to say thank you for not forgetting us as well and for including us. And, as someone kept reminding me in Nashville recently, the only thing I want to think about is do no harm. Take care of your own, do no harm. And let's include those that we need to include. So thank you for that, Jason. I am more than happy to ask everyone to reach into your pocket and donate and give back to HeroStock.org and check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys for having me on tonight. It was fun.
No, I appreciate you and your daughter. Again, beautiful voice. She got my heart too. So we're just we're grateful that you have the time that you've taken as well as Randy mentioned to be here with us. I I am appreciative to be here, and anything I can do to help, like we were talking about, there's some things there that if it's Texas or Tennessee, I call it easy. And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, Nebraska too. I have a secret.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
Jason only knows that secret right now. Oh yeah, isn't that funny? I definitely I wouldn't move back.
It's fun to visit, though, right?
I will go to HeroStock. Let's say that much.
There you
We'll
go.
be there. We'll be there.
Yeah, if HeroStock's there, then I will definitely do that. But I don't think I'd ever move back.
Bah.
I don't blame you.
Okay,
He's a Marine.
yeah.
He's used to it. Don't worry.
Right. We just have a little exit that we're going to play for you here. Stand by. Don't go away. Thank you for being with us, Jason, with HeroStock at herostock.org with Patriots Inside the Wire. We'll be right back.
Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Patriots Inside the Wire, hosted by Gold Star mom, Tracy Two-Step. Help us broaden our reach. Like, subscribe, and share.
Sorry, let's. So, I'm my brother Two-Step.